Hello, everybody. Hi, we're here. We're back with more tabletop things.
Hooray!
Cat, we're gonna be playing some across the endless sea today, as our sort of bridge RPG to something longer form. Maybe after we don't know what it is yet, so this is what we're doing.
It's a good
Yeah,
thing.
it's in the Fall of Magic GM-less style, sort of. We all contribute and make something cool, hopefully. Um, yeah. Overlay graciously provided, of course, by Katakahasa, who apparently put in the bare minimum of work because they just want to play video games today, which fair,
Acceptable.
And
wholly acceptable. Sorry, Andrew. Go ahead.
worth noting that the game is made by Luke, who is at Wildwood Games
Yep.
on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I should actually
they're,
have tweeted and added.
I poked at them.
You already did? You already did? Okay.
They're a cool human from Australia,
Glad to hear that.
and they made this game.
Yes, that is exactly true. I don't know why I'm like saying things over top of it, but
I am not lying to you. Elf has confirmed it. I don't know. I feel like
being
maybe
a host of things is difficult.
I feel like Sean is going to be a good person to give us a primer on what this game is about and what it's going to be like.
Yeah, so this game is about a group of individuals, the people, and they set off across the sea, the vast and endless sea, in order to find a new place to be.
How can one cross a thing if it is endless?
Well,
We play
Diagonally.
we play the a Mobius strip. No.
Diagonally.
So, over the course of several months of their journey, they encounter various things, and each player has you take on an aspect of the people as a whole. So you can be like the memory or the eyes or the heart of the people, metaphorically speaking. And so when you address challenges, you tend to address them in that way. But each player also has what's called a facet, and a facet is a part of the Endless Sea. So like the islands of the Endless Sea, the things that dwell there, the weather, and other challenges that the people will have to face.
Well. So, our goal here, I mean, if you can call it a goal, because the game is like diceless, sort of narrative, like we make stuff
Life
up
is
and do
diceless and
things.
narrative.
Yeah, exactly. If we can call it a goal, is for the people to survive or for the facets to win?
To me,
Us to
basically-
have a good time and tell a good story.
We play through just like in Fall of Magic, how there's like a prescribed like end of the journey. We just play out the journey,
Right.
and we are here as almost as like dispassionate observers of the journey that the people take on.
That sounds awesome. I'm all about being dispassionate.
I'm also going to put forward, because I have special secret stuff.
Special secret stuff.
Look at Andrew with their special secret stuff.
Wow.
I have an additional facet
Oh.
that I would like to bring in.
Okay. No.
So
Okay.
Well, denied.
I'm
Yes.
interested.
mega mysterious and secret. It's the best.
The Andrews of the Endless Sea.
It's called Spirits of the Endless Sea,
Oh, hey. I'm all for that.
and so it adds some like ghosty, spooky
I'm
stuff.
so surprised, says Games from the Wildwood. Yeah, hey, by the way.
Yeah, they know
Playing-
what I'm about.
Playing your game. Alright, cool. Okay, so where do we start? What do we
Okay.
do?
Well, I'll read a thing just so
All right,
everyone's
read a
a little
thing.
more. The endless sea flows out beyond the horizon. Its tides and stars are strange, and its weather wild and treacherous. Each island and outcrop that breaks the surface is far more perilous and wondrous than the last. Outlandish travelers roam the face of the water, while weirder creatures lurk beneath. Across this dreamlike expanse, there are a people making a long journey. The people are travelers, wanderers, voyagers. They are known for their keen eyes, their skillful hands, their lovely voices. Their hearts are as untamed as the sea itself, and their memories as deep. They journey toward a far-off destination, hoping for a safe arrival. They journey across the endless sea. So the first thing we all need to do is choose an aspect of the people and a facet of the Endless Sea playbook each.
Okay.
So that is how we start.
I am assuming we cannot double up on aspects or facets.
No, and only one of us can pick spirits.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess we know who that'll be.
Yeah, I want to play it.
Yeah, all right. You can play. So you want Spirits of the Endless Sea, or is it Spirits of the People? What
It's Spirits of the Endless Sea.
Spirits of the Endless Sea.
I'm not sure which aspect of the people I want to be, though.
Okay, well.
I have a facet in mind.
Okay.
Could I try the islands of the Endless Sea?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Take the islands. Do you have a facet of the people that you wanna?
Not yet. I'm
wanna
looking
be?
through.
Okay. How about you, Sean? You got any?
I will be the voice of the people.
You're gonna be the voice of the people? Okay. All right.
That's Sean, all right. If I were to describe Sean, I'd be
Sean,
like, oh, yeah,
voice of the people.
he speaks for us, the people.
he speaks for us. Okay.
So then remaining, we have the eyes, the memory,
the heart and the hands.
Heart and the hands, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, basically each aspect has different like prompts, so different ways of solving things, and gets to have ownership of something special that will come up at various stages of the game. So there's like a one-time thing that happens when you play for each aspect. And then when the facets matter when conflict comes up, we will pick a pairing, essentially. One aspect will try to solve the problem presented by one facet. And everyone else acts as kind of a audience and judge.
Glee Club.
Yeah.
Glee Club. I don't know what facet of the people I want to be.
I don't know. Let chat decide.
I think I played Heart of the People last time, and it was the one that was supposed to be about hope, but I made it all really bad.
That sounds amazing.
That was a thing that I've done. That's, in typical fashion.
I mean, you and I are quite good at making things that are supposed to be good bad.
Okay, well, I want to be the eyes of the people, because the eyes
of
of the people are keen and unblinking, which is kind of horrifying. So
that's kind of horrifying.
Like, they just never blink. It means they can't close their eyes. Like, the people aren't necessarily human people.
Is anyone the Travelers of the Endless Sea?
No.
It's me now, fools.
Oh shit. Oh shit. All right, I'll be the heart. I'll be the heart of the people. Be the heart of the people, and I want the dwellers in the. No, wait. We have islands and travelers, and we've got only and spirits.
Islands, travelers, and spirits. So you can be dwellers.
Dwellers, waters, weather.
And like, obviously the sea has water in it, even if no one is playing the water, but
obviously the sea has water in it.
But if we want to center our story around, right, these things.
It's actually just smooth sailing in waters the whole time, and terrible things emerge from them.
Yeah, right? Like, that's basically what we're saying, is that the sea itself does not present an explicit like hazard that we need to bear with. It's that there are other people there, or that the islands are treacherous, or the ghosts that haunt it, or whatever.
I think I'm gonna be dwellers in the Endless Sea. Yeah, it's gotta be dwellers. Even though I wanted to maybe do an environmental thing, there's so many great descriptors from dwellers that I can't not do it. So I'll be the heart and the dwellers.
Great.
Okay, cool. Make and declare whatever decisions the aspect playbooks ask you to. Make sure this includes the heart choosing the people's destination. If the heart is not in play, decide as a group.
I'm the heart.
Okay. then yeah, we should have some prompts on our sheet. Like, for instance, mine says the voices of the people are rich and haunting, and many tales and customs forgotten elsewhere find life again on their lips. Choose 4. So I'm gonna make 4 choices, and we'll go from there.
Oh, is that the hearts of the people are deep and wild, that the ocean and as the
Yeah.
ocean and many values and virtues guide them in their voyaging? Okay, all right, cool.
And so we can each just make a little text box.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a little
in our section and fill out those bullet points because we need to make. Like for me, I choose things to either be. I choose either 2 warnings and 2 opportunities, or 3 warnings, 1 opportunity. 1.
Yeah.
I have some stuff to choose from here.
Hmm.
And this is definitely something where we all want to kind of kibitz and talk, and as we're making choices, call them
Okay.
out.
All right.
And that'll kind of get us all into a good flow.
So I am going to. I have to pick either 3 and 1, or 3 and 1, or 2 and 2 of these virtues and values. So I think I'm going to pick 2 virtues and 2 values.
Okay.
One of my virtues is going to be loyalty, steadfastness, unbreakable bonds of fellowship. I think. And the other value will be curiosity, wonder, fascination with the mysteries of the world, or the other
So,
virtue. So those
we
are
just
2
go-
virtues.
We just go poking at shit we shouldn't.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and we
sorry.
care about each other.
Aw, that's always a downfall.
Yeah.
As soon as you catch feelings in this business, you catch a bullet. This business of being people.
This business of existing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if we are a curious people, then I think that we should seek the friendship of the walking whales, playful, magical, and wise.
Okay.
So that is an opportunity for us.
Okay. I'm just trying to do all this at one time.
Yeah, it's a lot easier with pieces of paper.
Yeah, sorry.
It's not your fault that we're on the internet.
Yeah, that's not your fault.
Little did they know.
It was you the whole time.
Little did they know it was Sean the whole time. Curiosity. Wonder.
What are you eyeing over there, Jacob?
Well, I
Yeah.
think I'm going to be the hands of the people.
Oh my god, I can't remember the whole prompt, and if I close this text box, it'll never open again.
You can use the
My
you can use
life.
the select move tool.
And I think if we're seeking friends with the walking whales,
Mm-hmm.
then I think one of the things that we should have is free diving, swimming, and undersea foraging.
That's cool.
Ooh,
Okay.
undersea forging. That's pretty awesome.
So, in that case, maybe I will add
Foraging.
related to that.
I know
Seek
it's
where the sea
foraging.
foams. Seek where the sea foams. And dive to find oysters, clams, and pearls.
And I done goofed.
You done goofed?
Yep. Oh,
Trying to
never
hit-
mind.
Trying to hit enter to leave your text box, and you just put a million line breaks in it.
Sure did.
Yep. I do that too.
Oh
I'm trying to
yeah.
expand the
I
text
put
box.
I
here.
put my
What is-
thing in the wrong section.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Keep
Oh,
to your own
and-
section.
And that is there we go.
I fixed it.
The people walk around with their heart in their hands, apparently. Get it? Get it, guys? Joke.
Oh.
Rolls in
Um, And so, you know, if the whales walk, then clearly we need to have crazy flying things. So, be wary of shadows on water moving against the breeze. For some leviathans are creatures not of the depths, but the upper airs.
Oh my.
Hmm.
Should I choose a tale how the people and the walking whales slew a leviathan of the upper airs?
Ooh.
I mean, that would be pertinent. However, you can also veer off topic as hard as you want. Like reincorporating is cool, but we can also do different stuff.
Yeah, well, one I'm going to choose is how the lost land was betrayed by the salt sage and became forever lost.
That's cool.
There.
And like, yeah, like we can have we can have useful stories of our own, but we can also have other people's stories that have found their way to us, right? That's the thing. Right. Many tales and customs forgotten elsewhere find life again on their lips. So they don't necessarily have to be like practical and relevant stories that we have. It can be
Sure.
strange stories from elsewhere.
A deep respect for the products of long labor, skills, craft, so forth. Skills, knowledge, and craft. It's one of the values I've taken here. And then the other value I'm gonna take is going to be a deep respect for the terrible beauty and teeming life of the endless sea.
That's a good one.
Boom. I've got my 4.
I am also going to take a tale how the first Riddler swam down and learned from the world octopus.
The world octopus.
That's cool. I love that we spend a lot of time diving and that we have stories around that because
Yeah.
that's like clearly a skill set that we all have based on Jacob's tricks.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just not wanting to interrupt anyone here.
No. I mean,
No,
we're talking, you know. So feel free.
So I'm thinking I've got a couple options here now because I've chosen one warning and one opportunity, or no, 2 opportunities, 1 warning. So I need to find another warning. So ones that jump out to me are be wary of paths of ghost light. They lead to the fabled Golden City, which is bad. It's a warning. Or be wary of unknown islands. Some float, some think, some hunger.
Oh, those are both very good.
Oof.
And we have both dwellers and travelers, right?
Yeah.
And I assume there are some monsters between like dwellers and islands.
islands,
I mean, dwellers is entirely like, you know, the stuff that lives under the ocean, basically.
Okay, so it's not like people who
No,
live out
it's
here.
well, but it's like what makes it dangerous. It's ravenous, hungry, never full. It strikes from surprise. It transforms that which it touches, you know.
Okay, yeah. So you have all the sea monsters. Great. We got to watch over sea monsters.
Well, because we're
Well,
divers, it's perfect, right? Like,
Yeah, totally.
If you want to take that Golden City one, I have how the jealous stars made the Golden City from stolen sunlight as a trap.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's a story about it. This all connects in. I mean, we can have a story about it or not. Is the thing.
Yeah, we could be ignorant of it and fall into their trap.
And yeah, Luke points out in
oh
chat.
yeah, I have to pick your destination.
Where are we going?
Where? How do I do that? Where is that on our reference here?
I think it's your next column over from the initial prompts, I believe. Because mine has a thing for when we begin to near their destination. When the people begin to near their destination, by what signs will they know they have arrived?
Oh, hang on.
Is what I get to say.
Yes. The people voyage across the endless sea as a destination. As the people begin their journey, what is it that they know awaits them on the journey's end? Their homeland, the yearly festival, their promised land, the fishing grounds, or the shrine of sun return.
Shrine of Sun
there's-
Return sounds pretty cool.
There's definitely bigger explanations here, like homeland lost generations ago, but now readily awaiting their return. or where they'll meet with kinfolk from the other peoples, the yearly festival. Place to settle and live in safety that was promised long ago is the Promised Land. The fishing grounds where they'll live in luxury and resupply and while the fish last. Or the Shrine of Sun Return where they will pray for winter's end and spring's rebirth.
Right. So this is like they have to do it every year or something because the seasons happen to us.
Exactly.
And so it kind of implies that this is an annual thing.
I kind of like the Homeland one, the like lost generations ago, but now ready and awaiting their return.
That definitely makes this journey a lot more singular. Right?
Yeah,
Like a reverse Exodus.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, this is already reminding me of the third Etrian Odyssey game.
Oh yeah.
This is great. I love it already.
All right. My final tale is how the people failed to bury their first dead and birthed the death mist.
Ooh.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
So I got a thing to pick too. The people's voyage across the endless sea as a destination. When the people finally sight their destination, what last challenge must they overcome to reach it?
You will take care of that on the 6th month in the
Yeah,
heart of
when we are.
Yeah, so there's like an appointed time. The heart is at the start, and then like mine is close to the end.
I'm in the middle.
And there's the thing in italics is basically like a ritual phrase, so we'll know when we are satisfying.
You know what I'm gonna pick? I'm gonna pick the fishing grounds where they will live in plenty at least until the fish run out.
Yeah, that's cool because we're so
Like
into
more boat
ocean.
and ocean people, yeah.
Yeah, we're not looking for land.
We're not traveling to land somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so the other boxes on this, just so you can see, the people might have names and they give a bunch of sample ones, members of the people. So this is as like, it's not character focused per se, but as notable figures come up, we can keep track of them there.
Yeah, who they are.
The turn order, more or less, is the next box below that. The people traveling rafts and kayaks, maybe on one great vessel or maybe in a flotilla, so we should figure that out. I think we kind of travel in like a flotilla of stuff, right? Like a bunch of...
Like boats.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, it sounds like our people kind of always live on the ocean.
I'm imagining like a bunch of like not barges necessarily, but like smaller vessels tied together to make a larger vessel occasionally, and then like off on their own when they need to be and stuff like that.
Yeah, like they can leash up to each other or scattering apart.
I don't know, this is just like what's in my brain.
Yes.
Seems good. I think that's in line with what the game kind of expects as well. So
the people have no single monolithic faith to which they all belong. They all share belief in the Sparkbringer and the rites of Sun Return. But beyond that, there are as many beliefs and worships reflected among their number as there are islands in the endless sea. The people reckon their year in 12 months, using a solar calendar based on the teachings of the Shrine of Sun Return. And below that are the 6 months that our journey takes place on.
Sweet. What else do we need that we don't have right now?
All right, let me check here.
What did you end up picking? Hands of the people. Let me see here. I didn't hear you say.
Oh, so tracking, foraging on hand, hunting with spear and bow, shooting, skirmishing, fighting boat to boat, and rowing, trimming sail, and climbing rigging.
Okay, so we're just like really adept at all kinds of dealing with other people if we have to.
Yeah. And we get around by actually like sailing, potentially like having like semi-sophisticated rigging and sailing.
Yeah, it's not just like a wooden raft that we pray the current take us in the right direction sort of thing.
Yeah, we actually have skills now. That's nice. Let me just do a review of mine.
Sure.
So, the eyes of the people are keen and unblinking and spot hidden dangers and opportunities that others may miss. Seek the friendship of the walking whales, playful, magical, and wise. Seek where the sea foams and dive to find oysters, clams, and pearls. Be wary of shadows on water moving against the breeze, for some leviathans are creatures not of the depths, but the upper airs. And be wary of the sea's color. Fear black and crimson, flee opalescent.
Ooh. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, so it's a good idea to do a review. I have the Heart of the People, And it's curiosity, wonder, and fascination with the wider world. Loyalty, steadfastness, and the unbreakable bonds of fellowship. A deep respect for the products of long labor, skill, craft, knowledge. And a deep respect for the terrible beauty and teeming life of the Endless Sea.
Gear.
No, Gear was first.
Yeah.
Oh, you were? Okay, I'm sorry. I was blanked
It's you,
out on
Sean.
that.
It's just
All right,
you.
fine. The voices of the people are rich and haunting, and many tales and customs forgotten elsewhere find life again on their lips. A tale of how many hued ink fell from the heavens and set to form the islands. How the lost land was betrayed by the salt sage and became forever lost. How the first riddler swam down and learned from the world octopus. How the people failed to bury their first dead and birthed the death mist.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so
Okay.
Basically, it says to review the encounter rules. Then we will choose someone to play the Endless Sea, have them draw a prompt from their facet deck. I have encounter prompts 1 and 2 as handouts. I don't have them. Find which one has your book on it. And then we choose one of those at random and use that as a prompt to build your thing.
Okay. So we're gonna roll dice just for the randomness of drawing.
Yeah.
From these prompts. Yeah.
Yeah, play lasts for 8 encounters, a randomly determined one for each of the first 5 months of the people's half-year journey, and 3 encounters chosen by the players of the various aspects. When an encounter is called for, follow this procedure. Choose a player to run the encounter. They will draw a prompt from the encounter deck or roll on the table. The person playing the Endless Sea asks and answers, silently to themselves, the questions on their facet playbook about the prompt. Answer as many as you see fit, and if you wish, you can ask some questions of other players. Then the person playing the Endless Sea describes the signs that signal the coming of the encounter, how the people first sight it, what their impressions are, and so on. The people who are not the Endless Sea at that point talk together, choose a lead aspect to meet the encounter, and then that lead aspect begins asking questions of the Endless Sea based on the move in their playbook. The Endless Sea player has to answer honestly and fairly. If they don't know what to answer, they can feel free to consult. The lead aspect player will choose how the people will meet the encounter. You'll have a move in your playbook. It says you can declare it or keep it secret. They describe what the choice looks like, what the people do, how they overcome the encounter, and then the person playing the Endless Sea can ask for clarification if you feel it's necessary. The lead aspect asks the person playing the Endless Sea whether the course of action they have described succeeds. The Endless Sea player will give it like a fair shake and consider it and then say yeah or no. And you can either work completely, it can work barely or at a cost, or it can fail to work. And then you have to say how many things the people lose or win as a result of the encounter. We put those on the field in the lower right corner of the sheet. Narrate anything that feels necessary. The lead aspect will ask the other aspects to choose what is won or lost based on the moves. And then we keep playing. Narrate anything necessary to close the scene. Discard the prompt and describe how the people journey onwards until the next encounter begins. Oh, okay. So we don't keep going at it until we succeed, do we?
No. If
Okay.
bad things happen, we just lose a lot of stuff.
Yep. Okay. Cool. My
Can we
mistake
just
there.
lose
It's-
a lot?
Yeah, basically we're seeing whether we benefit or suffer as a result of encountering this thing.
Okay, cool. I mean, I didn't follow entirely what the plan was.
We'll
but
walk through it some
will
more,
be
yeah.
easier in play, I'm sure. Listening to
but-
instructions has never been my strong suit.
So if the thing fails to work, describe how the situation of the encounter has changed and tell them to choose a new course of action.
Oh, I missed that.
So yeah,
Sorry.
if you fail, you have to take another swing at it. But we just keep losing stuff
Yep.
until we do it good.
Keep losing stuff. Great.
The other thing that's interesting about this game is because we each are responsible for 2 things, and we can't be both the solution to and the problem.
And the problem, yeah.
It means that, for instance, the spirits of the Endless Sea, when the people go to deal with them, they can't rely on their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Or and so you can end up with really interesting pairings. Like if someone is the waters or the weather and also the hands, the people just get fucked super hard. right? Or they have like weird ways of dealing with
The
the weather
people
that aren't,
just get fucked.
that aren't what we
super
would
hard.
expect, right? It's not like their skill at sailing isn't useful for navigating the weather. In that case, it's useful for something else. So the pairings can create really interesting tensions in the game.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like in this case that we can't rely on our eyes when the spirits are
Or our voices when we have to deal with travelers.
right. Like that's a really mean one, right? We don't tell them, so we don't share our stories with travelers and like
Oh,
Our stories are for us.
right. We like accumulate and gather stories, but we only share them within our community. Stuff like that. Yeah, there's like things that we can infer from these. Player
No
levels.
using your heart to deal with sea monsters. That one's not so bad. I don't think.
And not using your hands to deal with islands.
Do not lift the island. Do not feel up the island.
that's
Hey.
fun. All right. So who wants to be the Endless Sea first?
Yeah, where do we start?
I mean-
nominate Andrew.
I'll be the mean stuff.
I figured it
first.
was Andrew or I.
Pretty good at that. Okay, so this is the first month, the close of summer. It's the month of plenty. And so I need to roll on the encounter prompts table because we don't have cards. I think I have my own set of encounter prompts that I need to dig up.
Yeah, it's either one or two.
Oh no, here we go. It's in the list here.
Yeah, it's on too.
So can someone roll a d8 for me, please?
I got it.
And tell me the number because I'm off in the handouts tab.
It's an 8.
An 8. Oh,
Well,
okay.
well.
So I don't share what this is, yeah?
I mean, you don't have to.
You don't have to. You don't have to share like what your questions are. So
Right, and then I have to answer some of my questions for myself here. What does this thing look like, and what makes it dangerous?
Mm.
Geez, okay. We have done that. It's a really, guys, it's real bad. It's a really bad thing that happened right away.
In the month of plenty, bad shit goes down for our
Yeah,
people.
It's the month of plenty of bad shit.
So while Andrew was thinking over these questions, what are like the mental images that you guys are getting of the people? Because like I have this like small skiffs on their own outside of a larger barge kind of vibe of the ship and like so on. I don't know if any of this is like stuff that we need to
Yeah.
consider.
I think we have like some deep sea corals and stuff that we decorate our things with, and pearls, lots of
like
pearls.
on the ships,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, free diving for me always tends to imply like pearl diving.
Well, yeah, and we
like-
specifically have a thing where we keep our eye out for where the sea foams and we find oysters, clams, and pearls. And so I'm imagining that these people aren't exactly human because
They're,
they
like,
have
sort of
unblinking
sort of-
eyes
sort of
and
aquatic, yeah,
yeah, and they like spend so much time underwater.
like some kind
And
of
so-
amphibians.
And so we have this story of how the first Riddler swam down and learned from the world octopus, which means that there's a world octopus.
Yeah,
Praise be its
and-
name.
praise be the eight-legged.
Does someone want to give the world octopus a name from the name list?
Yes.
Or no, those are names for the people.
Oh, those are names for the people. Yeah.
Well, then does someone just want to name the world octopus something other than the world octopus, or do we just call it the world?
I
Sounds
think
like elf
it's called the
volunteer.
world- I think it's just called the World Octopus.
Great.
The fantastic world octopus.
I think,
Yes.
I mean, Sean, this is your purview, but in our stories, it is like the language around it sometimes conflates the world octopus and just like the world in general, and that the word for one is the word for the other, and like context
Sure.
matters
Oh,
for
yeah.
negotiating.
We are all held within the arms of the.
within the sucky
of the
tentacles
octopus.
of the world octopus.
Yeah, that it like contains the sky, that like one of its arms moves the sun, that it's like the like hands behind the stage of the world.
And clearly, that's why we're so good at what we do, because we learned from the world.
We
Octopus
learned
how
from
to-
the best.
how to live upon it.
If you listen
And
to
so-
if you listen to the World Octopus provides.
I have, I think, figured out
Okay.
my deal here. God, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, so we've just answered all my questions here. That's good. So, as the people set out on their journey, gathering their ships together and collecting all the disparate, portions of their community so that we can all as one depart. They see, where is it? Where's the thing? You see. So the water that they're in the morning of their departure turns black, and starts becoming like thick and viscous,
Ugh.
kind of like like it gets really like gooey,
Ooze water.
and sorry, I just need to highlight something here so I can keep track of it. I've just like lost this amazing prompt.
Oh.
Oh no, it's because it's in the other section. Yeah, many-limbed, many-eyed, many-faced. That's a good one. And so,
Okay.
and this like terrible like roiling of this like thick viscous water occurs as like below, but with this kind of like glow in the night black inky sea, the like eightfold faces of the world octopus are seen, and we have the shot like from above where it's like the tiny pod of ships, and then this like massive 8 faces all staring up from the inky blackness.
Oh no.
And in its like impossibly massive voice, it tells the people to stop, to like turn back from their journey that defies what it taught them.
So, okay. All right. So we have to figure out who's going to deal with this, right? Like,
Yes.
Which
Yes.
aspect of the people is
Gear's gonna deal with this.
Gear's going to deal with this? Okay.
I don't know. I mean, we can.
You
We
want to
can
use
pick
the
someone
hands
else.
of the people for this? Are you sure?
I mean, who else could we pick?
And I'm not permitted input in all of this.
I mean, you
At the
Sean,
moment,
have
so.
the story of the Riddler and the World Octopus, so you know, like the voice knows how to speak to such a godly figure,
Okay.
Or if we
I
want to
could
get
do
out
that.
the bows and shoot it, we could do that too, I guess.
right, the diving gear.
Just get it in the eightfold eyeballs, and then
Yeah, and it's like each face is ringed in eyes,
Oh,
and then
gosh.
like is like a beak ringed in eyes, and then there are 8 of them forming this like larger ring.
That's the
Yeah.
worst. And the heart of the people has a deep respect for the terrible beauty and teeming life of the endless sea, as well as, curiosity and fascination. So I don't know.
Okay.
What do you think, team? Who's taking it on?
I mean, I suppose I could.
I think Sean should take it on. Yeah. Let's see how it's done.
Yeah.
All right, you really want me to play into when Andrew is DMing? All right,
Yeah,
fine.
of course I do.
Let me see.
So something.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just
No, go
thinking
ahead.
something like that we should consider is like, is there a person who does the talking to horrible sea monsters on our boat?
Well, That's what I was about to ask.
Ah.
One of my questions is, to whom does the spirit of this thing call, and to whom does it whisper?
Yeah, so I think there's the one voice, but clearly this thing has 8 voices, and so though there is the one that booms out and is very like authoritative and loud, I think maybe there are like family groups or something among the people, and that like the youngest of each kind of family,
Sure.
or like clan within the people, the youngest each hears, I guess they each hear like a different voice speaking, and each voice offers up a riddle to them.
Okay.
These like confusing, almost like Zen koan kind of riddles, though, where they're like, they don't even really, like you don't have the context for them. They're not quite a riddle. It's just like this confusing thing that you get told. And so the youngest of each family hears whispering. And can you repeat the question?
Sure. It was.
I didn't answer it fully.
To whom does the spirit of this thing call, and to whom does it whisper?
Right, and so it calls to everyone would be the answer, but it whispers to these,
the youngest of
these youths.
Families. Are there 8 families?
Yeah, I mean, let's say there's 8 families, right?
Sure. What's another question?
A question that will help us escape from this horrible monster.
What tales of opportunity do we know of this thing, or things like it?
Well, clearly we know that it is willing to teach, but that it only teaches the clever, right? It wasn't just anyone that went down. It was the first Riddler swam down, and that the world octopus is hungry for novel things because it's seen everything, and it is everything.
Sure.
And so it's like very bored, and it wants for this world that it makes and orchestrates to spit out novel things to kind of entertain it, or in the way that like a craftsperson makes something. And I think this connects in as well with our own respect for the products of long labor. The world octopus is seen as kind of like a craftsperson who has made this intricate machine of the world, and it is meant to have like a result, and that it is like proud of its work, and it expects good things to come out of people, and that they will like be interesting and be the fruits of its labor, to provide it with novel things and entertainment, but not really entertainment. It's like it wants to be proud of people. It wants you to show that you're clever and interesting.
Sure. All right, so those are my 2 questions. I can ask 1 or 2, but 2 is good.
2 is great.
All right, does anyone have any thoughts? Is that something I can ask? Hold on. I mean, I guess it's up to me.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
All right. So I think the youngest of one of the families, a child named Holier, let me see what I want to do here. I think like Holier's mother often sang to them, and has recently passed away. And Halye is beginning slowly to become of age where they can start diving. Like the others, they're being taught from a very young age, so they're starting to go a little deeper. And Halye has proven pretty apt at this, but the waters can be dark and frightening sometimes to them, and the songs that their mother sang to them are very comforting. But they sort of like hum the song in their head beneath the waters as they're diving. And they're in like the darkness and the stillness of the waters, like the songs have changed from what their mother taught them. And upon seeing the world octopus, I think they like this small child like comes out to the edge of one of the boats and begins singing this song.
Right, and it's not the song that their mother taught them. It's this other thing that has been made in kind of response to the sea itself as they learn to dive in it and stuff.
Yeah. And so and like some of the others recognize like parts of the song, as like from what Halye's mother would sing. And so the members of this family like start coming in with like different bars and refrains of their own to like demonstrate to the world octopus as like an offering of song and joy. I guess specifically the one I'm doing here is approach it relying on their beautiful songs and poetry to make a connection.
Yeah.
Oh, great world octopus, please don't capsize our boats.
Yeah.
And so now I describe
you
how it works, right?
Sure.
And so I think there's this like chorus of laughter from the octopus, and it like it doesn't applaud, but as a sort of like equivalent fanfare, these like twinkling lights start to form down in the inky blackness and like float up, and so the octopus like says different things to different people, but Halye hears it speak, and it says like how pleased it is that they've been listening to the oceans, and how, and it like praises their voice, and speaks in like admiration of their cleverness, and offers up this like bounty of pearls, these like special twinkling pearls from deep in the ocean that it like causes to like bubble up to the surface. And it's like as many as the people can gather in their arms there are available. And yeah, it wishes everyone well on their journey, reminding them that, to like keep in mind its lessons, many of which have been forgotten by the people, and to like, to carry forth like its wisdom into the wider world, because of course, although it's the world octopus, like it doesn't encompass the entire endless sea. It was just the creator of like our world. And so it also warns the people that there will be things that are strange and that defy their sense of the functioning of like nature and the ocean and everything else. So I think we gain two things.
Okay.
We
Do
gain the
you
like.
pick who chooses those, or
Oh
do
no,
we...
sorry.
I mean, you pick what we.
I do not
like-
get to choose what. That's
Okay.
my bad. I'm over describing. Whoops. Whoops.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, so let's roll back.
It's the first turn. It's fine.
So it's the world octopus is pleased, and it like praises Hali's voice and is like delighted that y'all the people have been listening to the oceans and
Oh, okay.
learning, and we get 2 things. I
Yep.
think.
Sure. So we get 2 things. The lead aspect will ask other aspects to choose what is won or lost per the moves on their playbooks. So since there's 2 other people in this,
We'll each pick a
Elf and
thing?
Gear, why don't you each pick
Yeah.
a thing?
Okay. So we're doing what is one this time, right? Like, because
Yes.
we're gaining 2 things.
Yes. And just add them to things 1.
I think one of them should be that the warning from the World Octopus that that there are strange things out there and that they are, going to defy their expectations of what the world is and so forth. And that would be a new virtue or value, one that makes the people wiser, I think.
Okay.
So, like the wisdom of the world octopus, or something like a deep respect for the words of the deep, so to speak.
So maybe like hold fast to the lessons of the world octopus.
Yeah.
As like a value.
There you go. Yeah.
So Andrew, you had described like all these pearls coming up and being floated up by the world octopus, right?
Yeah, as kind of
And-
like
And I think
fanfare.
and
It's
I
like
think
the
that happened. So I think that they get a valuable resource, something like parchment, gold, cloth, wine, etc.,
Buckets of
In-
pearls.
in some abundance. So all these pearls come up, as you had described, and they're able to get these pearls in abundance for trading or for crafting.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the specific utility of them is still kind of open-ended, right? We have these things, but it's not clear
They are
just
of a
exactly
value.
what they will be
Yeah.
useful for.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
All right.
and I will eventually type this in. I'm probably spelling that wrong. That's fine.
So then, Sean,
Yeah.
why don't you tell us about how the people like part ways with the world octopus and leave the world as they know it?
I think they have like this solemn moment, kind of everyone joins in with like some singing, and then they make some offerings of food, mostly from their stash. Since we are going to like the fishing grounds, and we're like we will more than make up for this, clearly. Like,
We will be in a place of plenty. It'll be fine.
In our hubris.
yes. So as a thank you to the world octopus, they do this, and
In
then
our hubris.
so I think they spend like a day doing this, making offerings, and then they sail onward, and they glance back behind them, and they're like, well, it will be a while before we are back here.
When the fish move, so do we.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
cool.
so I guess
So stage 2 of our journey, right? Like that's how it works. We just move on to the next month.
Yeah.
I guess it's the open of autumn swiftness, also called high winds.
I think before we move into the second part, we should take a quick break, and then the second part when we get back.
Certainly.
Yes, indeed. All right, don't go anywhere, everybody. More beyond the endless sea, or across the endless sea. Not my brain. When we get back.